candy. I'm vegan. I can't eat no milk chocolate. I eat chocolate, but not no milk chocolate. Most of the time it's got to be dark chocolate. And even some dark chocolate got milk in it. So I'm looking at the table. I was like, why they can't have nothing dark chocolate for the people who don't eat milk chocolate? Didn't touch it. Then on the way home, I was so hungry. I went to the grocery store, but everything that I got, I had to cook. So I'm like, well, what am I going to eat? Can I stop somewhere and get something? I was like, no, I don't want to stop nowhere for real because I'm trying to eat clean. I don't want nothing greasy. I don't want to be eating none of that. So I was like, well, I got some oatmeal that I had cooked yesterday that is still in the fridge that I haven't eaten yet. So I was like, I guess I'll eat that when I get home. I'm passing by all the fast food places, y'all. Chick-fil-A was smelling good. I don't even eat. I stopped eating McDonald's years and years and years ago. But you know, when you're hungry, everything just smells so goddamn good. So I'm just like, damn, I'm hungry as hell. And I got a 20-minute drive home. Needless to say, I didn't stop. I didn't stop and get no French fries or nothing. Because most of the stuff at these fast food places, I can't eat anyways. Okay, let's just keep it real. I don't eat chicken. I don't eat meat. So if I was to stop at a fast food place, you guys, the only thing I could really get is some French fries or some type of salad. Panera has a Mediterranean sandwich. Now that is really good. I can get that with no feta. But most places I can't. Most places don't accommodate people like me anyways, vegans, right? But I can always get me a French fry if I get that hungry. Needless to say, I didn't. I came home despite being hungry, despite having 1,010,000 different cravings. I came home, I ate my oatmeal because it's already cooked, and here I am on live with you guys. So the point that I'm making is you have to develop some form of discipline if you want to accomplish anything in your life. All right? And discipline is the not so fun part. It's not fun. And it takes a while to really develop that. It takes a while to resist temptation, to resist what you feel like doing for your overall goal. Okay? I've been trying to be, now I'm not gonna lie to you, some days I do eat like shit. Like, I'm not perfect. I'm never gonna claim to be. But more often than not, I eat clean, meaning I don't eat processed foods too much. The last thing I had processed, probably the other day when I ate a bagel with cream cheese. So the cream cheese, the vegan cream cheese is processed, right? That doesn't come from the ground. They made that. But other than that, you guys, I try to stick to a very clean diet. Well, very clean meals. I don't like to use the word diet because this is forever. This is not for a short period of time. But we have to develop discipline. And that's the not so fun part. And for me, what I can say is discipline got easier, or I got mentally stronger as I continued with my journey. When I first started, I was cheating way more than I cheat now. Okay? But that's because I've developed a sense of discipline that I didn't have 2 years ago, right? And that just comes with doing the same thing over and over again that you don't feel like doing. Now I love to weightlift. Like, that's my thing. It's very hard for me to take a day off. I love lifting weights, but it wasn't always like that. When I first started trying to lose weight and building muscle, I hated going to the gym. I hated that shit. It wasn't fun. But it's those instances where you keep doing the stuff that you don't feel like doing, but you do it because you have to. You do it because that's the goal that you have set for yourself. It's those instances that make you mentally strong. And a lot of people don't have that. Another thing that I can tell you guys that really helped me along my way was focusing on myself. Removing myself from being around a whole bunch of people. A lot of times we have this need to want to be needed. We have this need to want to be around people. We're codependent, to say the least. A lot of us are codependent. A lot of us, it's like we have to have friends to function. It's crazy. It makes no sense. I used to be the same way. It makes absolutely no sense. I don't know where that comes from. For me, I grew up in a very small family. I didn't have aunties and cousins, and I didn't have any of that. So for me, it's like I always just wanted friends. I always wanted to be cool. I always wanted people to like me. I always cared about what people thought about me. Like even at work, when I used to have a job, like I would like be so concerned with what my coworkers thought about me. Like, so concerned. It was absolutely ridiculous. Like, my mood would change based off of how others perceived me. So as a result, I needed to be a people pleaser. Even I would always do things for people that didn't necessarily benefit me, but I would never say no because I didn't want to make them mad. So I'm giving all my energy to these things, to pleasing people, to doing favors for people in hopes they are going to like me. It's absolutely ridiculous, but that's how I used to be. I used to be that way. And it gets to a point where it's like, why do I care what people think? They're not paying not near one of my bills. Why do I care so much? I had to ask myself that. I had to look at myself in the mirror and literally ask myself, why do I care so much about what people think about me who really don't give a fuck about me, right? It makes no sense. So once I stopped giving my energy to stuff like that, stuff that doesn't matter, and I started giving all of my energy to myself and being selfish with my energy, I'm able now to focus on what's important to me, which is reaching my goals. Let's go, Miss Therapist. Listen, they have to find peace within themselves, period. You do have to find peace within yourself. And the problem is, we only think about it like this. Every morning when you wake up, you have a certain level of energy, right? You're starting, if you got a good night's rest, for the most part, your energy level's at 100, right? You're at 100%. When you get out of the bed, you might be groggy or whatever, but once you kind of wake up, you're sitting at 100% most of the time, as long as you got your, 7 to 8 hours of sleep. Throughout the day, the longer you stay awake, that energy goes down, right? You start at 100, then maybe 3 hours of being awake. Now you probably at like 95, 90, and it just slowly goes down. The more you interact with people, that energy goes down even faster, right? When you're just in your own zone, you kind of can keep your energy a little bit higher because you're not dealing with nobody. Whether it's good or bad, you're just not dealing with nobody, right? So you're able to keep that energy that you have to yourself. But when you start getting around people and you're dealing with different personalities, that energy starts to diminish quicker, right? So by the end of the day, after you've gotten off work, after you done dealt with everybody with meetings or you went to an event or whatever, now your energy went from 100% when you first woke up. Now you probably at about 20%. So you pretty much done for the day. And if you didn't work on anything for yourself during the day when you had your highest amount of energy, now you're coming home and now you want to work on stuff for yourself. And maybe now you want to go to the gym. Well, now you're running on about 20% energy. So you don't have as much energy to devote to yourself anymore because you done gave it to everybody else and everything else, right? So it's harder, especially if you work in a toxic environment. The job I had before I quit and started my own stuff was very toxic. That environment was very toxic. People was always talking about people, management, they was terrible. Like, it was a very toxic environment and I hated being in there. So if you love your job, which is great because most people don't, but if you love your job, your energy may not diminish as quickly as someone who hates their job, right? So when you get off work, if you love your job, of course you're tired, you might be worn out a little bit, but you still got way more energy than someone who's going to work for 8 hours who absolutely hates their job. Because all their energy is going to the environment that's toxic that they don't really want to be in, but they're there because they have to pay their bills, right? So if you can figure out a way to keep most of your energy to yourself, to lock in on yourself, a lot of times people start gossiping. That's what I'm talking about. When you're constantly interacting with other people, even if it's people that you really like, who you know really like you, at the end of the day, you're still interacting with people. So your energy is slowly getting depleted, right? So when you can lock in on yourself, when you can focus on yourself, when you can commit to being disciplined and doing what you need to do for yourself, you're going to get a lot more done than if you trying to be around everybody, you trying to hang out with everybody, things of that nature. And that's what I learned on my weight loss journey, is preserving my energy. Not allowing people's negative energy to deplete me, right? Not allowing things that are stressful to deplete me. Like, we all have things that are stressful, or can be stressful, I should say. But it's how you perceive it that determines if it's really going to be stressful. Let's say you're worried about paying your bills. Let's say money's tight. That's a good one. Like, money always seems to stress people out, especially when you don't have enough of it, right? Because you got to pay this, you got to pay that, you got to live, you got to eat, all this, that, and the third. You might have kids you got to take care of. It can get very stressful. But instead of looking at it as I never have enough money, look at it as what can I do to make some more money? It's all about mindset. It's all about changing our thought process. That's going to allow you to keep some of your energy. If you're constantly worrying about what you don't have, that's depleting more and more energy. So now you're focused on what you don't have instead of focusing on what you can do to get that, right? So we have to focus on not being stressed out. We have to focus on keeping our energy. And again, mostly everything that I talk about can be applied to so much more than just losing weight and getting in shape. This can all be applied to starting a business. This can all be applied to starting that degree that you've always wanted to start, changing careers. Maybe you don't like your job. Maybe you're looking to do something different. But if you're harboring all this energy towards toxic environments and toxic people and stressing, you don't have enough energy to focus on switching careers. You don't have enough energy to apply for jobs, new jobs, because you're so overwhelmed over here that you're not giving your energy to where it's best, which is for you, which is to make you happy. So keep your energy. And also do things throughout the day that make you happy so that you can keep your energy balanced. Every day should not be, oh, I'm going to keep doing things that I hate. You have to figure out what makes you happy. What do you enjoy to do, whether you're getting paid for it or not? Like, what do you enjoy to do? Do you like to binge watch a TV show? Like, whatever that is. Obviously, you got to put a time limit to it, right? You can't do that all day, every day, right? And never get anything else done. But there's nothing wrong with doing things that make you happy. And you should schedule time in your week or in your month or whatever to do things that genuinely make you happy. Let me read some of y'all's comments real quick. Why does it sound like it's burning? Let's see. You have to find peace. Yes. What did you get me for Valentine's Day? What'd you get me? Send a super chat. Yep, that's me every day. So when you shooting a movie, what movie? Call it broken. Hello. Hi, TikTok. Hi, YouTube. Make sure you guys hit that thumbs up button for me, YouTube and TikTok. Let's get the algorithming, you guys. What's up? Give me 3 fitness tips. You want to improve your overall strength? Let's see. Make sure you eat a lot. I can't do a backflip. Make sure you eat a lot. Clean, not a whole bunch of junk. Eat clean. Make sure every rep counts. Don't go in the gym bullshitting, y'all. Don't go in the gym and you just like, okay, I know I got to be here, so let me just kind of breeze through this. No, give it everything you got. Every single rep, make it count. If you guys watch my gym vlogs, I make every rep count. If something gets too easy, I either add more weight or I do more reps. I don't just skate by. A lot of people want everything to be so freaking easy, and it can't always be easy. It should never be easy. If it's easy, that means you're not growing. And that's real shit. That's why when I reflect on who I was a couple of years ago, it like low-key disgusts me. Like I said at the beginning, I used to be a people pleaser. That disgusts me. Like, that is ridiculous. And for anyone who's going through that now, the best advice I could give for you, because I feel like a lot of us go through this phase of wanting to please people, wanting to make people happy, wanting to be seen as a good person. If I can give you a piece of advice, you have to build your self-esteem. Because for me, and I can only speak for me, I can never speak for someone else and what someone else has going on. But for me, when I reflect back on that person, the reason why I always wanted to please people was because I wanted them to think that I was a good person. I wanted them to think I was nice, which means that I didn't feel that way about myself internally. Because if I genuinely thought I was a good person and I had self-esteem, I wouldn't care what other people thought about me, because what I think about me would trump what anyone else thought about me. That's why I don't people please anymore, because I know who I am and I have self-confidence today. So if you were to ask me, if someone was to ask me for something and that's not in my best interest, or let's say I do it once, you know, when you do something once for someone, they always want to keep asking, right? I'm sure y'all know plenty of people like that. It's like maybe someone asks for a couple of dollars, you give it to them, you know, a couple weeks from now they're gonna ask for some more. Like, we already know how that goes, right? At some point you gotta say no, right? I'm just using this as an example. At some point you gotta say no. At some point it's like, bruh, I'm not going to keep giving you money. Like, I'm not going to keep giving you money. When you sit there and you ask yourself, what do they do for you? The answer 9 times out of 10 is absolutely nothing. I'm not going to keep giving you money. So when you tell them no, now you're not going to keep pleasing them. You're not going to keep, no. The answer is no. And they're probably going to throw a fit, right? Because that's the one time you told them you wasn't going to do it no more. I don't care what fit they throw. I don't care what they call me. Like, I'm not giving you any more money. And that's just what it is. And I'm secure with that decision because I know that I'm a good person and I know that I've helped you already. And I know that I'm not going to keep helping you. Okay? Whereas the old me would have just kept doing it. I would just kept doing it. It's ridiculous. I don't know why I was that way, other than that I lacked self-confidence in myself. Okay? So that was like the best example I could think of. But at the end of the day, when you reflect on who you are today and who you want to be, you have to figure out what are the steps that you need to take in order to be that person that you want to be. When I would think about what I wanted to be, I never wanted to be overweight. Like, when I listed out everything that I want for my life, being overweight and being out of shape never made that list. It was never on that list. I never listed, I want to be 100 pounds overweight. I want to be out of breath just walking to and from my car. That never made my list. But here I am living this life. But yet when I look at my future, when I look at where I want to be in 5 years from now, that's not there. So since that's not on the list and I don't want it on the list, that means I have to change what I'm doing so that who I become is on my list. You get what I'm saying? And it's going to be hard if you really see yourself being, further along than where you are today. And some people don't. So some people, a lot of people don't have goals. And it's crazy to think that, because it's like, I'm so driven, I'm so disciplined today. It's hard for me to understand when someone doesn't want any better for themselves. Like, I don't really understand that. But I recognize that there are plenty of people out here who don't want anything more than what they already have, which is fine as long as they're happy. But most people have no dreams and they're not happy. A lot of people are very miserable beings. And if you're not careful with who you surround yourself with, you could end up being influenced by them. Okay? So if you are driven, if you do have goals, I want you to list out everything that you want to accomplish for the next year, the next 5 years, the next 10 years. Like, come up with a plan. And whatever's on that list, every single day, you should be working towards that. I know I talk about how you should, take a rest day. And for a rest day, I'm specifically talking about taking a rest day for your body, right? If you're exercising, your muscles have to heal, right? But even on my rest days, I'm still working towards my goals. I might not be in the gym, lifting heavy weight. Hi, Monisha. But I'm still working towards all my other goals. I'm still making sure I educate myself on whatever it is. I'm working on content creation, right? Pushing out content for you guys every single day. And I want to give you guys the best content that I'm capable of giving, which means I have to research this stuff. I didn't come out of my mother's womb knowing about technology, right? I had to research I had to research a new microphone. I didn't know, right? I had to research how to edit my videos better. I have to research different lifting movements. I want to make sure I'm doing it right so that when I'm showing y'all how to do something, I'm telling y'all the right stuff. I got to research food. I don't want to be on here telling you something's healthy and it's not healthy. I don't want to do that. So I'm constantly educating myself because my future, where I see myself, is having larger platforms, being able to reach more people, being able to help more people. So yeah, I may be off from the gym, but best believe I'm still working towards my goal in some way, shape, or form. It's not a complete day off. I haven't had a complete day off in years. I don't even know how to do that. Like, it's that deep. I don't even know how to put my phone down and not do something for something. Like, I don't know how to do that. And I want you guys to be comfortable with being obsessed too, with whatever it is you want to do. If you want to get a degree, let's say you want to go back to school and you want to get your bachelor's or your master's or your PhD, whatever it is, become obsessed with that. Like, that should be your obsession. It shouldn't be like, oh, you know, it'd be cool. No, be obsessed with that. And don't let people make you feel bad. See, that's another thing that I struggled with over the past few years. I've become obsessed with being an entrepreneur, that I would let people make me feel bad because my life is business. Like, everything that I do to be better at my business. And because we've already talked about how a lot of people aren't driven, right? When you get around those people, sometimes I would feel bad. Like, people would be talking about like the game, or, you know, like they would just be talking about a whole bunch of stuff that I don't know anything about because it has nothing to do with what I'm focused on and locked in on. So I would feel insecure because I'm like, gosh, they're talking about like video games and if people play video games, like they're on Twitch and stuff like that, it's great. But if you're just gaming and you're not monetizing that, you know what I mean? So I would be like, dang, these people have like so much to talk about. Like, they're talking about the housewives, or they're talking about this, they're talking about that. And it's like, I don't have anything to contribute to this conversation. And I would feel bad. I would feel insecure about myself because I'm like, there must be something wrong with me because the only thing I want to do and learn about is stuff to be a better entrepreneur. But you shouldn't feel that way. So if you want to start a degree, if you want to, you know, take the next steps and get a degree, obsess over that. That's the only way you're going to get it done. So if your degree is, if you're trying to get your PhD in, I don't even know, like anatomy, like I'm just throwing something out, then be obsessed with that. And don't feel bad if you get around people who don't understand your obsession. It's not for them to understand. My obsession was losing weight, getting healthy. And I come from a family where that's not normal, okay? So most of my family's overweight, which makes sense as to why I was overweight, right? I got the same bad habits that they have, right? So now I'm obsessed with meal prepping. I'm obsessed with learning about what's healthy. I'm obsessed with only eating foods that are going to be good for me. And I'm sitting at the Thanksgiving table eating my healthy meal while everybody else is eating mac and cheese and, you know, all this stuff. And they're looking at me like, you can eat, you know, this for Thanksgiving. It's just one day. Yeah, but one day turns into two. And then 2 days turns into 3. And at the end of the day, if my goal is to be healthy, then I have to make sure that I'm healthy when it's the hardest. And when is it the hardest? When you're sitting at a table with people who are eating nothing but shitty food. That's when it's the hardest. But that's when you get stronger. When you go through the things that are really hard to do. Okay? And then on top of that, I'm vegan. So I'm seeing people eating their turkey, their ham, macaroni and cheese with the extra cheese, right? And here I am, which I enjoy my food. Don't get me wrong. I love being vegan. Like, I don't feel deprived. But I'm saying, I still got to smell it, right? Like, I can't close my nose. I'm going to sit at the table and close my nose like this. The shit still smells good. Like, I'm not going to hold you. The shit smelled good. It smelled delicious. It smells great, right? But I'm not on that no more. So that's where you self-develop. You self-develop, you get mentally stronger when you're doing things that are hard to do, resisting temptation. If you know you're supposed to get up at a certain time to work out and you're sleepy, that's what's going to make you a stronger person mentally. Still getting up despite how you feel, despite that you're running off of 3 hours of sleep, and getting your ass up and hitting that gym because that's what you told yourself you were going to do. That's where the growth is, not when it's easy. Okay? Let me read some more of y'all's comments. Monisha said, hey Jazz, do you know how much protein I should consume while cutting? There are a lot of calculators online. I don't give like macronutrient numbers because I'm not a doctor. But there are a lot of calculators. You can put that in. Most of the time it's 0.6 times however much you weigh. 0.6 to 1.9, I believe. But I would definitely use a calculator so that you can get the most accurate number. Hello, hello, hello. Okay, shooting in 15 seconds. Your lines need your 3 workout tips. What are you talking about? You talking about on the title? Hey y'all. We're talking about weight loss Q&A, so definitely feel free to ask any questions that you may have. What I will say for myself when I was cutting, I don't know, your stats. Like, I don't know how much you weigh. I don't know how overweight you are. But what I will say for myself, when I was cutting, I tried to stay at between 40 to 60 grams of protein a day. If you eat too much protein, you guys, you will gain weight, which is expected when you're bulking, right? You want to gain weight when you're bulking. But when you're cutting, when you're trying to lose fat, or a lot of it at least, you don't need 100, 200 grams of protein. You don't need that. So, I would stay at around 40 to 60 grams, and I was still getting stronger every day. I remember when I first started doing seated shoulder press, oh gosh, my heaviest weight was 340. So when me and my trainer first started getting at it, I think I was seated shoulder press when you sit on the bench, you got something supporting your back, like you're sitting on a chair, and then you push the dumbbells like this. Y'all see me do that every week on shoulder day. So that's a seated shoulder press. I probably was using 15-pound dumbbells on each side. And before I started bulking, because I started bulking towards the end of November, I got stuck at 35 pounds. I couldn't get heavier than 35-pound dumbbells. So in that year and a half, at that point, I went from 15-pound dumbbells to 35-pound dumbbells. So muscle was still being built. I was still getting stronger. People think that if you're not eating a lot of protein, that you're not going to get stronger, and that's not true. Now, you will plateau. And that's what started happening for me, was I was plateauing. But I also want you guys to understand this too. It depends on what your goals are. I want to be strong as fuck. Like, that's my goal. Like, I want to be strong as fuck. Okay? Like, naturally. Like, I'm not interested in any type of steroids or anything like that. I want to be naturally strong as fuck. Okay? So for me, I wanted to push more than 35-pound dumbbells on a seated shoulder press. But for you, that might not be your goal, and that's totally fine. It doesn't have to be. My goal is to get to 70-pound dumbbells by the end of the summer. Now, I don't know if I'll be able to reach that because my cut starts in April, and I probably won't be building too much muscle during that time. But I want to be strong as fuck. So I want you guys to think about that when y'all are deciding, you know, how much protein you should eat, all that stuff. Obviously, eat enough to what your body needs. Like, I never want you guys to be depriving yourselves of your nutrients. But some people don't want to be very muscular, and that's okay too. You don't have to be. All right. So, you know, I know you guys see me on my gym vlogs every day. Like, I love lifting heavy shit. I love getting stronger and stronger and stronger. But if that's not a goal of yours, that's okay too. Okay. Something else that I can say for myself, when I was on my cut, being 340 and getting down to, I think I got down to what was the lightest? I think I got down to 225 before I started bulking. So I was trying to eat between 1,200 and 1,400 calories a day. That's not a lot of food. And that's another reason it would make it harder for me, because towards when I started really revving up my exercise last summer. So we're in 2024. So summer 2023, I really started amping it up. Like, I really got committed and obsessed with getting strong as fuck. So only eating 1,200 to 1,400 calories a day, and then trying to push all this heavy weight and, you know, burn 2,000 calories. Like, during that time, I was burning like 2,000 calories a day. Like, I was really going crazy in the gym. I started to plateau, because I'm expecting all of this work out of my body, but yet I'm only eating 1,200 to 1,400 calories a day, 40 to 50 grams of protein. So it got to a point where I was no longer getting stronger. Like, I plateaued. But the average woman is not working out as hard as I was. I'm still working out hard now, but I'm not nearly in the gym for as long as I was then. So with that being said, you may not need to do all of that, because that may not be a goal of yours. It's a goal of mine. I want to create a fitness business, right? I want to look a certain way. So my goals may be different from your goals, and that's totally fine. So with that being said, you have to make adjustments to what I do, because maybe you only want to work out for 30 minutes a day, whereas for me, my goal is at least 2 hours. So if I want to, you know, lift for 2 hours a day, I'm going to need more than you, right? I'm going to be burning more calories than you. So me eating 25 to 3,000 calories a day works for me, because I'm burning 1,500. Whereas you might only work out for 30 minutes, which is fine. You know, that's your goal. So you don't need 3,000 calories a day, right? Because at that point, all your body is going to do is store it. If you're eating as much protein as me and you're not using it, right, your body's just going to store that as fat, and you're just going to gain weight, okay? Is cardio good before lifting weights or after? So people have mixed opinions on that. I always do cardio before I was lifting. I don't do cardio right now. I'll be starting cardio again when I start my cut in April. So I have 6 more weeks of no cardio. But there's still cardio in the weightlifting. And a lot of times people don't realize that. Especially like if you guys watch my gym vlogs, y'all will see like when I hit legs, let's say I'm doing squats, I'll immediately go into body weight jump squats. That's cardio. if I'm doing walking lunges, weighted walking lunges, after I do my set, y'all will see me go right into body weight jumping lunges. That's cardio. So a lot of times there's still cardio in the weightlifting. It's just not on a cardio machine. A lot of times people think that if it's not on a cardio machine, it's not cardio. That's not always true. Now, some days I don't do cardio at all. Like if I'm hitting chest, shoulders, tries, there's no cardio in that. But on leg days, most leg days, I still incorporate some type of cardio. Now, I always would do cardio beforehand because I use cardio as a way to warm up my joints, get the blood flowing, get a sweat going. Because after I'm done lifting weights, like I'm done. Like I'm ready to go home. Like I'm getting the fuck out of the gym. I'm done. Whereas I see some people, they start lifting first and then they want to do cardio after. And that works for them. But for me, I feel like I can go harder if I do cardio ahead of time. And I would still have energy. Now at first, when I was first getting into it, it would be hard to lift heavy because my body was depleted from the cardio because I was just out of shape. If you're just out of shape, you're just out of shape. And so it's going to be challenging. But once you get into better shape, I didn't feel like my lifts were being neglected because I exhausted all of my energy in the cardio. Like the 20 to 30 minutes that I would spend on the elliptical, I wasn't dead tired. Like I was ready to go, right? So it also depends on how you feel. If I kept it at a sprint, right, for 30 minutes, I would be dead ass tired. So now it's time to live, and I'm not going to have any energy. But the type of cardio, like the pace in which I was going, because I always have my Apple Watch on, I would say my heart rate, the highest it would get to, you guys, would be about like 145, 150. So I'm not able to really hold a conversation for real, but I wasn't dead ass tired either. I feel like my heart rate gets up heavier or higher now when I start incorporating, when I do leg day. When I do leg day like today, sometimes my heart rate gets up to 175, especially within Bulgarian split squats. Bulgarian split squats get you every time. So, and walking lunges get me every time. The leg press gets me every time. Squats, weighted squats like front squats or back squats every time. So even the leg extension machine, when I start on that, my heart rate is getting up to about 150, 155. So don't think that if you're not necessarily doing cardio, that you're not burning calories or getting your heart rate up, because you definitely are. And the more you push yourself, the heavier you go. That exalts a lot of energy. Your body has to use a lot of calories to push that weight. That's why I always say you gotta eat something. You have to eat something before you go in the gym. I normally eat yogurt on my way to the gym. Yogurt, blueberries, granola, and some chocolate chips. So let me read y'all's comments. Hey, TikTok. Okay, so we answered that one. I lift weights for 45 minutes to an hour and get on the treadmill for 20, 30 minutes. That's a good system. I like to stretch in the sauna to warm up, and I save cardio for lifting rest days because I stay in the blue zone. And there's nothing wrong with that. I've heard a couple people say that they stretch in the sauna, and I want to start getting in the sauna. It's just, I don't know, like after I'm done working out, like I'm ready to go. I've been saying I wanted to get in the sauna for some months now and still ain't did it. Because I've read there's a lot of benefits to sitting in that sauna for 10 to 15 minutes after your workout. It's just, I be ready to go. I be hungry. I'm tired. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go. But yes, I have heard a lot of benefits to, doing stretches in the sauna, sitting in the sauna. I've heard people like do push-ups in the sauna. So I've definitely read on the benefits of that. Now for cardio, things that I would do, I always did the elliptical, where I also move my arms. Because there's like two different types of elliptical machines. You got the ones where you just hold on and you don't move your arms. And then you got the ones where you move your arms as well. I would always do the one where I move my arm as well. I also started doing the Stairmaster closer to before I started bulking. And when I first started doing the Stairmaster, that shit was hard. So I started at like just trying to get through 10 minutes. Then once I mastered that, then the goal would be, all right, 15 minutes. And then towards the end, I was able to start doing 20 minutes. So I had to build myself up to that. But I don't know how many minutes I could do now because I don't do cardio. I'm on day 67 of bulking, so I haven't done cardio in like 2 months. Like cardio on a machine in like 2 months. So I don't know how challenging a Stairmaster would be. I feel like I would be able to knock it out just because I don't skip leg day. I still exercise. I still eat right. I feel like I could still knock it out. Will it be hard? Yes, but I definitely feel like I could get through at least 15 minutes solid. So yeah. Yep. I got 5 more weeks in my bulk, and then I'll be cutting. And there's gonna be a lot of things that I'm cutting back out of the diet. Sorry if you answered that, but how long is your bulk? Yeah, so my bulk would be for 3 months. So 90 days, give or take. So there's gonna be a lot of things I'm gonna be cutting out of my diet. I got obsessed with dark chocolate chips in my yogurt and in my oatmeal. I'll end up having to let that go. I'm trying to think. I used to put maple syrup in a lot of stuff. I'm gonna have to cut that back. A lot of sugar stuff. So the dark chocolate chips, the maple syrup, I'll have to use more sparingly. Trying to think. The snacking, all that's gonna have to get cut out. I was eating bagels for breakfast with my yogurt. I'm gonna have to cut that out. I was doing I was making a lot of like chickpea salad sandwiches because it's so quick and easy and delicious. I've made that on YouTube before. Basically, it's a whole bunch of chickpeas. You cut up like your favorite vegetables. So I would put like onions, celery, grapes, walnuts, kind of like a chicken salad, but with chickpeas. And then vegan mayo. Well, vegan mayo has a lot of fat, so ultimately, like, that's a pretty fatty meal. I'll have to cut all that. I'm trying to think what else I was eating that I eat a lot of. Okay, tomorrow I'm on TikTok and YouTube. I'm gonna be live tomorrow, probably around 4 p.m. and I'm gonna be making the vegan mac and cheese with broccoli using cashews and nutritional yeast. I've made the mac and cheese before on YouTube. It's a very good meal. It's delicious. It's with cashews, so it's still, none of it's processed. It's still a very healthy meal in the grand scheme of things. It's just full of fat because nuts carry a lot of fat, right? And because the cheese sauce is made with cashews, and a lot of cashews, right? It's a very fatty meal. A healthy fat, but it's still fatty, right? So I'm not gonna be able to eat that on my cut. I'm gonna be a lot more clean with it. Again, there's nothing wrong with these types of fat. The unsaturated fats are very healthy for you, but I will have to minimize it. When I make like tacos, I'll eat a whole avocado. I'm gonna have to bring that down to a half an avocado again. Basically, like how I was eating when I was trying to lose weight initially is what I'm gonna have to go back to on my cut. So the first few weeks, it'll probably be tough because I've stretched out my stomach, right? So now I'm used to eating more food. And so I have to shrink my stomach back. So I feel like the first week and a half to 2 weeks will probably be like really tough. But I know I'll be able to get through it. And again, I'll be incorporating cardio. So yeah, finished now. I gotta get a USB-C adapter for the microchip. If it ain't something, it's something. What are you working on, 474? Are you a creator as well? What else, y'all? What else? Yeah, so tomorrow, you guys, I'm going to get on live. Let me set a time so that y'all can be here. Let's set a time and stick with it. 4:30 Eastern. I'm gonna get on live on TikTok and YouTube, and I'm going to make. I already got the cashews soaking now, so I'll be ready. I'm gonna make a vegan mac and cheese. It's in my It's in my plant-based ebook as well. Vegan mac and cheese with cashews, nutritional yeast, vegetable broth, seasonings, and with red lentil noodles. And then I'm gonna put some broccoli and mushrooms in it. And then I'm going to have a sweet potato with it. So y'all will get to see me make that. Yeah. So we're going to do that at 4:30 tomorrow. I went grocery shopping today, got a whole bunch of food. They didn't have pineapples. I miss my pineapples. I haven't had pineapples in like 3 weeks, y'all. Every time I go to Whole Foods, I always get the chopped up pineapples because I'm not about to cut up a pineapple. Like, I'm not. I'm not. It's just too involved. I don't have time for it. I do not cut pineapples, and I'm not very good at it either. I don't have the patience to be good at it. So I always get the cut up ones. And from experience, I know that the darker the yellow, the sweeter they are. When they're pale yellow, that means they're not sweet. They cut them before they were done. And the past few weeks, every time I go to Whole Foods, the pineapples are not dark yellow, which means that they're not sweet, which means that I'm not gonna like it. So I haven't been getting them, but I miss them. I did get me some more apples, so I'm excited about that. Got some more blueberries, got some more bananas, got a shit ton of vegetable broth. I always keep vegetable broth stocked in my house, like always. Even when if I don't need it, I keep it because I always, every time I'm cooking, I always need a little bit of vegetable broth. So I always make sure I have cases of vegetable broth. Got some more soy milk. Trader Joe's has a dark yellow pineapple shines. I'm gonna have to check them out. Because Whole Foods has been slacking these past few weeks. Like, I've complained about it, but have yet to stop going. Like, at this point, I'm just complaining just to hear myself talk because I haven't changed it, right? So I'm gonna check out Trader Joe's because it's getting ridiculous. What else did I get? I had a whole bunch of stuff, and I can't remember none of it. Oh, I got some more yogurt. Soy milk. Oh, I got bell peppers, mushrooms, just a whole bunch of vegetables. So make sure you guys tune in tomorrow, 4:30. Whole Foods is the spot. Yes, they are the spot, but I just feel like they've been slacking in the produce section. Like, at least the one by my house, like, the produce goes bad quicker. I used to be able to get a whole bunch of blueberries for the whole week, fresh blueberries. Now I don't do that because they start getting moldy after like day 4, and I don't have time for it. So I end up going damn near every other day just to get like blueberries, stuff like that. So yeah, I got some more oatmeal. I feel like that's it for the most part. But I got some more orange juice. They have the best orange juice, you guys. The best orange juice. You have not had orange juice until you've had it from Whole Foods, because they have like the orange juice juicer. So it's literally just oranges. You push the button and you can watch the oranges get juiced and end up in your container. So good. Oh, I love it. Every morning a glass of orange juice, my favorite. They are very sweet. Yes. I love pineapples. I love apples too. Red ones, not green ones. But do you guys have any more questions for me before we get off of here? I agree. I can't wait until the farmer's market comes out. Yes, I love the farmer's market. I cannot wait for the summertime. You get the best produce. Oh my gosh. I love it. And you get to support local farmers, so it's even better. I love the farmer's market. I wish it could be all year round. Like, I really do. If only. I enjoy their pressed juices at Whole Foods. Yes, it's so good. Hey, Kiosha. Welcome. Yes, I love Whole Foods for those things. They just gotta be better with the produce. At least the one by my house. Maybe the ones in other places are still keeping up, but the one by my house, I don't know. What are some sugar substitutes if you use any? I sweeten my stuff with maple syrup all the time. I was doing dates. I would make a date paste, and I'll probably get back to that. I've gotten a little lazy, you guys. It's like, to just keep it 100 with y'all. Before I really started like vlogging and stuff, I used to be like a super healthy vegan, like very, very healthy. And I would love to get back to that. If I had to rate my healthiness, I'm probably like an 85% at this point. But like this time last year, I was probably like 98%. Like, I wasn't eating anything processed. I was making my own almond milk. Like, I was making my own bread. I was making everything, and that shit is hard. When I get to the point financially where I can have a chef, like, that's one of my goals, to be able to afford like an in-house chef, like Kardashian level type shit. Like, I'll go back to that, because then they can make it. I'm not doing it. But I used to make a date paste. So you would get medjool. Is that how you pronounce it? Medjool dates, MEDJOOL. I think that's how you say it. You would pit them. So I would use like 15 dates pitted, put them in the blender with, was it a half a cup of water? I have to look at my recipe. It was like 15 dates, a half a cup of water. You let it blend. It needs to blend for a little bit. And I have a Vitamix, so it's a little bit stronger. If you have like a cheaper blender, it might have to be a little bit longer than that. And you just let it blend. It's gonna make a whole bunch of noise. And it'll start to thicken. And it literally looks like a paste. And it's super sweet. And I would use that to sweeten stuff. So what was so good about that is it wasn't added sugar, so it's not like spiking your blood sugar. Like, I was really into all that, like keeping my blood sugar levels down. That's why I would never eat anything with flour. That's really good. It's sweet, but see, the thing is, it wouldn't last that long. So like I said, those 15 dates that made that paste, I would still put it in my yogurt. I would put it in oatmeal. And so I would go through it like every 3 days. Like, I'd have to make some more. Are you going to be a lifetime vegan? Yes. I'm starting to do the Leslie videos to walk in the house 1 mile, then 1 mile stationary bike ride. I don't think I've heard of that. Working from home and no movement going on. Got to start something. Yes. And that's one thing I would say, like, COVID made it easy to be inactive. Like, it did, because like everyone starts working from home. Like, you don't really take that many steps because everything is so close. You're in your home, right? And then it's like you get used to being in your home, and it's like now you don't want to go outside, and so it makes it harder to be active. Like, yes. It's a struggle. I feel you, girl. Healthy veganism is labor intensive. I always wanted a chef. Yes, it's a lot of work. It is a lot of work. I know that it's very beneficial, but it was so much work. So when I'm making millions and millions, I'm going to get me an in-home chef. They can make all that stuff from scratch. And I will be a very healthy vegan again. It is very time consuming. I was making my own almond milk. I was making bread with oatmeal and water. It's really easy to do. It's just time consuming. I was making my own date paste. I was making my own, I was making my own everything. Like, everything. Gosh, it was a lot. Yeah. All right, you guys, I am going to get off. I'm gonna go to bed. Make sure you guys subscribe to my YouTube channel if you have not already. TikTok, the link is in my bio. YouTube, make sure you guys subscribe to my TikTok if you have not already. Link is in the bio. TikTok, I'll be on live tomorrow morning. If you're up, it'll be like 3:30 in the morning. I'll be on live at the gym. We are hitting chest, triceps, and shoulders. And YouTube and TikTok, I'll be back on live at 4:30 to cook dinner with you guys on Valentine's Day. So make sure you guys tune in for that. And I will see you guys later, okay? Bye, YouTube.